Okay, so we're explaining stocks versus day trading. So, stocks. You're looking at the stocks, and pretty much when you're investing in a stock, you're going to buy it at that price. So, if you see Tesla for 395, you're buying it at that price, and you want the value to rise. And at some point, you wanted to sell it for a higher value. That's what you're basically risking at the moment. So, for example, for me, I bought Tesla at its current price, and I'm banking that it's going to go up to, who knows, maybe it's going to grow. Some people go by percentages each year, but I'm I'm my goal is to really hold it for the next 10 years. I believe it'll go to like 1,000 or plus. We'll see what happens over time. It's not like a guaranteed thing. Like there's never like any true certainty, but I myself am confident that this company will grow. So because the company is growing, the stock should grow. The company is in a lot of things, different things at this point. So yeah, that's stocks for you. So purchase it at its current value and hope the value goes up. If it's worth at 500 at one point and you sell it for 500 and per share that you have, then you made a profit. So if you bought it for that, it's valued at 400. Like I said, profit. If you bought it for that, for the almost 400, and it's worth 1,000, then you have $1,000 per share. So if you have like 5 shares, if you have 5 shares of that stock that was valued out that, and now it's $1,000. Now you have $5,000. You made a profit. But okay, here's trading now. So now we're introduced to something different. So a stock, you just basically purchased an asset. Purchasing an asset, your belief is that it's going to rise in value, and you're just kind of stuck with that. But because I'm looking at trading, I can trade both sides of the spectrum. So if I believe it's going to rise, I can make a profit based off of it rising. If I believe it's going to drop, I can make a profit based off of that, based on the amount of pips that well, the lot size and the amount of pips that it moves. So it was at this location about 446. Now it dropped down to 424. Aftermarket is actually much lower, so when it opens tomorrow, it should be actually about here. But for now, this is what we see. So my account is balance is 250, less than the value of the actual stock. I don't lose money unless I close out one of these trades. So, but because I sold it, this one at 0.01 cent. It's not 1 cent, but it's a penny per pip. Now what did I say pimp? 2 cents per pip. So pips are the measurement. But yeah, because it moves by so much from 447 to 424, on the 1 cent I made 22 bucks from it losing value, dropping. On the 0.02 I made 45 bucks from it losing value, which is $108 profit. So in all technicalities, you could do both. If you understand what you're doing with trading, which is definitely more complex, you can double up and even reinvest that into a stock if you wanted to. So I sold up here based on what I saw and understood about the markets. It dropped in value. So it should be here from my understanding. tomorrow because that's what I see on the aftermarket counter. So aftermarket, as we saw, it was at $3.95. So once it hits there, boom, I can close out a piece and take some home. And in all honesty, I'm probably more than likely going to have $200 in the account. So half the value of Tesla already would be added to this account here. If I close it, if I believe it was going to go lower, and I held on to it, I can do that if I wanted to. But at the same time, I can profit off the buy. So if I believed it was going to buy for a little bit here, I could let it buy and close it out and make some money. And then if I believe it was going to go lower, I could sell again. Or if I wanted to just hold it, I could do that, or etc. Like, you're not just making money just from owning it and throwing in $400 and etc. I can honestly risk much less. I'm basically betting the movement. It's valued at this point, $4.45. Oh, it's going to drop. Boom. I can make a profit off that and risk. In all honesty, it was about $10 each that I risked. So about $30 I risked and at the same time it just dropped. So I made some money there. I could take a loss just like a stock, but at this point it's different than stocks because it's based on the margin of my account. So margin is pretty much how much capital I have in my account. So if my negative balance exceeds what's available in my account, then I could get bumped out of the entire trade entirely, and I can lose all of that. But if you understand what you're doing and know how to manage your risks, you can risk much less and jump into trade later and still have an opportunity to make more money. So, which is better to you, buying a stock or trading a stock? I'm not gonna lie. At least to me, buying stocks is much easier, especially for the longer term. Trading a stock, it's gonna take you some time. So, because there's plenty to learn here, it's not just something that you can just do in one day. But once you gain that understanding, hey, sky's the limit. You just gave yourself an opportunity to make more money here. Just don't overcomplicate the process. So, like I said, for me, I believe everything is going to go much lower. I'm gonna bank off that. I still own the stock, but I'm comfortable holding that stock and trying to make more money at the same time. That's just how I do things. But if you understood this video pretty well, feel free to give this video a like. If you think this is an opportunity for you, go ahead and get started. All you got to do is just look for a broker, or if you want to get started with stocks especially, you can get a free stock in the description. There are 2 links, one for Robinhood and one for Webull. If you don't have an account with them already, you can get, like I said, you can get a free stock just for joining each one of them. So a stock for joining Robinhood, a stock for joining Webull. So 2 stocks. And just go ahead and just do your research. You got to do your research on any stock. And I'm also going to throw out a disclaimer that I am not a financial advisor, so invest and trade at your own risk, and always do your research when you're trying to get into stuff like this. And also feel free to subscribe.